It has now been 7 full weeks since I admitted that I had a food addiction problem. And I finally decided that I wanted to take back control of my life. And what a crazy 7 weeks it's been so far. Hey everybody, I'm Zach. And if you're new here, I started my massive weight loss journey on June 19th of 2026, where I topped out at 525.2 pounds. In that time, I decided that I was going to do a GLP-1. I went with Zepbound, and now I am trying to lose over 300 pounds and regain my life back. With that, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not anything like that. I am a normal 41-year-old guy who's living in Indiana, single with his dog. So with that, if you want to follow my journey, hit that sub, like, comment button. It really does help my small little channel grow. And everybody that already has, thank you so much. It means the world to me that I am able to share this very personal journey publicly with everybody. And it definitely gives me the confidence to continue making this kind of content, because I feel like a lot of people lose a lot of weight first and then they recap how they lost it. And I've started from week 1 at my complete highest, my most vulnerable. And like I said, it gives me the confidence to keep moving on. So with that, let's go ahead and get into what happened in week 7. All right, so with that, kind of like what I was talking about last week, I am going to make this video a little bit more structured because I found in editing I tend to yap a lot. So we're going to kind of continue that same little structure that I have already kind of set up. So first thing that we're going to be talking about this week is we're going to go over results. So that's kind of probably why everybody's here. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that first. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the diet. So what I did last week and what I've been doing, or what I plan on doing this week. And then we're going to talk a little bit about my update on my August goals that I set for myself last week and see how we're doing there. And then we're going to see if there was any struggles or side effects that I've had so far this last week. And then we're going to go ahead and take my Zepbound shots. And we are on the 4th dose of the 5 milligram. So this is my last dose of the quick pen this week. And I do have another one sitting in the fridge waiting for the next 4 weeks. So that'll be cool. And then we'll just do a little bit of a wrap up and I'll let you guys go about your day. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about the results. So again, back on June 19th of 2026, I started out at 525.2 pounds. With that, last week, I weighed in at 475. This morning I jumped on the scale and I'm at 471.2. So that means that is a total loss of last week of 3.8 pounds and a total combined loss in 7 full weeks or 49 days of 54 pounds. So 54 pounds in 49 days, which is unreal. Like I said, I can't be happier with the results. I'm way further than what I was expecting to be. With that, I'll throw up some, before and after pictures up here. And like I said, I don't see it. I don't see any change. Like I said, 54 pounds is a lot of weight, but to a guy my size, it's a drop. It doesn't look any different. And I know a lot of people in the comments last week were like, oh, I can see it. I can see it. I can't see it. I can see it a little bit in my face, kind of like what I was saying last week, but I don't see the change. There's really no change there. So one of these days I'll take one of these before and after pictures. I'll be like, oh, well, there it is. Now I can see it. Now I can finally see it. But maybe I'm just harder on myself, right? So, maybe it's just body dysmorphia or anything like that. But like I said, 54 pounds to a guy my size it feels like literally nothing. So, but I don't want to take that. I don't want to take this video down that path because, I want to be happy of my results so far. I don't want to think about that. But one of these days I'll see it. So let me know if you can see it. Like I said, I don't see it. We'll go ahead and talk about my diet. So last week I basically I just did some wraps. I just did some little wraps over, Thursday and Friday. And then Sunday I went and ate Chinese again. I had earned it. Chinese sounded really good. So that morning I went and got Chinese and, ate half of what I typically would when I was, at my highest, which filled me up for the day. Like, it was really good. So, every once in a while, I'll still treat myself to that. This week, I'm being a little bit stricter. I was happy for the 3.8 pound loss, but I wanted something different this week. So tonight through Sunday, I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be making shrimp, zucchini, and squash, which zucchini and squash are probably some of my favorite vegetables. And the way I make them in the air fryer is really good. And I also make the shrimp in the air fryer too. And yes, there will be a video on it. I will post a video of how I make it next week, because I've had people ask me about how do you make zucchini and squash in the air fryer? And I'm like, it's really easy. And like I said, I'm all about quick, easy meals and no cleanup. So everything, I use my air fryer all the time. So my air fryer is my best friend right now. And if it dies on me, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, because I don't know how to cook that well. So the air fryer makes everything really nice and easy, no cleanup. So look out for a video on my shrimp, zucchini, and squash sometime next week. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a ribeye. So I'm going to do a ribeye, zucchini, and squash. And then Sunday I'm going to do shrimp, zucchini, and squash again. So next 3 days are going to be kind of bigger meals than what I normally eat. But that's by design. It's the weekend. I increase my calories a little bit. So I'm not doing anything too crazy, but, and then, Monday through Thursday, I do pretty strict things, like it's only chicken and some kind of whatever else. So this week it's probably going to be the same thing as what I've been doing the last couple weeks. It's probably going to be the chicken teriyaki. It's going to be broccoli and probably rice. Or I'm thinking about doubling up on the chicken to get more protein and just doing broccoli and keep getting the rice out of the equation, because I don't feel like the rice is really doing anything. So I might just do double chicken and broccoli and have that one big meal, along with also doing Groons and those Oikos protein drinks that I'll show up here. So with that, that's kind of what my diet's looking like. Like I said, I'm still doing, OMAD, and I'm still doing no caffeine and stuff like that, which I'll talk a little bit more in my August goals. So, let's go ahead and talk about August goals. So last week was, the first day of August. So I decided to give myself some goals for August. So again, still doing no caffeine. And again, I was never a big coffee drinker or anything like that. My vice was always energy drinks and Dr. Pepper or some kind of pop. So with that out of the way, I really don't have a sweet tooth anymore. It's kind of crazy. I don't have that taste for it. Once I broke out of that caffeine withdrawal that first week that I started it, it's been very smooth sailing ever since. So the other thing I'm doing is controversial, right? I'm doing fasting, but I'm trying to do it in a good way. And like I said, I get a lot of flack for it, but I like it. It's something that I've kind of always done. When I lost all my weight the first time 10 years ago, I was basically doing one meal a day the same way, but I was doing it in a way unhealthier way than I am now. I like doing the one meal a day. It fits my schedule perfectly, and with the help of the GLP-1, not feeling the need to eat, it makes doing OMAD so much easier. Again, it's not for everybody, and that's cool, but it works for me. So that's really the end game. That's all that matters to me. Which is going to get me into my next area where, I have the end goal of the end of the month to try to hit 460 pounds by the end of the month. And since I feel like that's still doable. So for the rest of the month, basically every week I need to hit minus 3.7 pounds for the rest of the month, which I feel is very doable. For a guy my size, 3.5 pounds it feels very manageable. I feel like I can do that. So as long as there's no setbacks or anything like that, I feel like my goal of 460 pounds by the end of August is still very achievable. The other thing that I'm going to do is today I'm officially signing up for the Y. Last week I went to the Y and, you know, they were busy and I got my application. I had my dog with me in the car, so I didn't want to sit in there and do all the paperwork and stuff like that. But I am going to, as soon as I get done with this video and take my shot and stuff like that, I'm going to the Y and I am going to be signing up. So, you know, weight resistance and starting to work out, get more steps in and everything like that is all part of the plan for August. So we are going to finish that up today. And the last thing is probably the one I hate the most, and that is a doctor's appointment. So I did make a doctor's appointment. So I am finally going to go to the doctor. I haven't been to the doctor in probably three years. So it'll be interesting to see what he says. You know, I'm going to tell him everything that I've been doing. I'm going to see what he says. I'm kind of just going in for a checkup. I want to go in and get some blood work done, get some tests, you know, since I am still kind of early in this journey. I want to get some blood work done. I want to check like testosterone levels and stuff like that, because a guy my age, apparently it's an important thing to check. So I'm not looking forward to it. I don't like going to the doctor just because of in the past, usually the doctor is just like, oh yeah, well, the reason you're feeling this way is because, well, you're overweight. Well, you should probably lose some weight. Well, here I am, I'm already on that journey, and I don't know if he's a doctor who likes GLP-1s or not. He might see that I'm taking a GLP-1 now, and he'll just be like, oh, well, what are you doing? You know? So Monday isn't going to be a mystery. So I'll probably do a short on that, on the results and how that turned out on Monday. So, or Tuesday, probably one of those 2 days, whenever I decide to put it up. So keep a lookout to that, because I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not a doctor person. So we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about any struggles or side effects. Only side effect I had is, you know, I had Chinese on Sundays, so again, my body isn't used to that. So I did have a little bit of diarrhea afterwards, but it's very negligible. Like I don't have any I'm not having any side effects with this medication. And it's like I said, these last 7 weeks have been amazing. I feel like a completely different person. No inflammation. I don't take Advil anymore, which is crazy. I was always taking Advil every day. I was taking Advil, 5 Advil caps up to 10, depending on how I felt. I'm surprised I'm not dead from taking so much Advil, honestly. And it's crazy. I haven't touched Advil in probably a week and a half, probably. I mean, I had like a headache or something last week or something like that, and so I took some, but I feel great. No inflammation, no pain. I don't think about food. Like you can't put a price on that, I feel like. So everything in that department has been going really well, with no side effects or anything like that. So we are going to go ahead and take my last shot of this quick pen here. So again, I do have another one sitting in the fridge, and as you can see, we are sticking to the 5 milligram. So I really like these quick pens, just because they're very handy, and they have 4 doses per pen. So basically it's just a pen and you take it out, and it has 4 doses inside. So let's go ahead and prep this baby. So again, here's everything. As you can see, I'm on my last dose here. And then all I do here is, the place I get this from, they send me my these sterilization packs. So we're just going to take one, and we're going to prep the pen here. Maybe. Okay. So then basically all you do is I just usually clean around it, the top a little bit, and then there's this little red plug at the end that you got to clean to make sure everything is sterilized and everything like that. So we're going to sterilize all of that really nice and easy, and we're done with that. And then the other thing that they do is they send me these needle caps. So all I got to do here is just take off the paper at the end, and then there's the little needle. I don't know if you can see it on this phone. I don't know, but there's a needle in there, and then all you do is just put them together. So we put them together here, and you just screw it on. You don't have to tighten it up too tight, but just make sure it's on there. And then all we do is we remove the cap. So as you can see, there is still a protective cover over the needle, which is fine. The other thing that we're going to do is we are going to prep the area of injection. And I usually keep this tracked in my Shotzi app or in my Lose It app as well. But this week, it looks like we are doing it on the top left. So we're doing top left for this. So again, I'm taking another one of these cleaning pads and I'm just going to clean the injection area. So we're just kind of rubbing that in, cleaning that injection area up a little bit. And then what we got to do now is prep the pin. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this protective cap of the needle here. And then for these, you have to prime them. And somebody in my comments said last week that you only need to prime it the first time. And I actually went back and looked at the instructions and it says you have to prime it each and every time. So to prime it, you just do 2 clicks on this right here. So we're just going to do 2 clicks, and it should be at the first big line. And then all we do is we just make sure there's no air in it and we just plunge it up. And there should be a little bit of fluid coming out. Yep. And I don't know if you can see it very well or not, but there is definitely some fluid coming out of here, some of the medication. And then all we do now is we click this all the way until it stops. And it should stop at a 1. So it won't let you go any further. So we are ready to now take this last dose, and you can see the medication coming out of the needle there, the last dose of this. And like I said, I'm not gonna take this on camera. I don't know, some of the platforms are really weird about it. And I've actually had my video taken down, so I had to appeal it. So I'm not gonna take it on camera. All right, so we are done now. And as you can see, I plunged it all the way in. And now what you do with this pin is you just recap the needle and you unscrew it. And then you dispose of the needle properly. And then we're done with this pin. So I'm just gonna put this up and then we just throw this away. And then next week we start a fresh pin. So all of that looks really good. So like I said, I'm really happy with the 5 milligrams so far. I haven't had too many issues with it. So again, we're sticking on 5 milligram for another 4 weeks. We can go ahead and start doing a little bit of a wrap up here. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this week. I'm gonna try to hit the gym this week. I'm going to the doctor on Monday. So we'll see what happens there. I am gonna do, like I said, I am gonna do another cooking edition. So I'm also going to be doing the shrimp, zucchini, and squash recipe that I like. So I will, I'll do that video probably on Tuesday of next week. So take a look out for that. And my poor iPhone Pro Max is struggling. I've had this phone since it came out, and it's been a great phone. And I wish I didn't have to upgrade it, but now that I've been starting to make content and everything like that, I feel the need that I'm going to need to upgrade because I'm running out of storage. So I'm trying to limp along until mid-September so I can go ahead and just upgrade to the 18 Pro Max. I'm hoping I can limp along till then because I don't want to get a 17 and then the 18 comes out, whatever. So I'm trying to limp it along until then. So we'll see what happens with that over the next month or so. So other than that, like I said, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, it really does help my channel grow. And like I said, it really helps me, give me the confidence to continue making these kind of videos and putting my public business out in the open for kind of everybody to see. Because I think my journey is going to be special. Like I said, I see a lot of people who don't start from the beginning, like and I don't know why I decided to put myself publicly out there at my most vulnerable, but I did, and I'm going to continue to do it. So like I said, I see a lot of people who will start making content, you know, when they've already lost a substantial amount of weight and stuff like that. But I'm here from the get-go. I'm here from the beginning. So with that, like I said, I will talk to you guys at some point, like I said, I am still making shorts, maybe like every other day, maybe every 3 days or something like that. So you can see the shorts. So I'll have an update on Monday about my doctor's appointment. At some point, I am going to do another cooking video, so that'll be up sometime next week. And then if I don't see you until then or talk to you until then, and like I said, I've met some really, really cool people so far on this journey, just in this community. It's been really fun. This whole trying to be a content creator and meeting new people and stuff like that has been really fun. It's been a great journey so far. So with that, I'll quit boring you with all my other stuff, and I will let you guys go because I got a lot of stuff I got to do today. So with that, I will see you guys next week for week 8. See ya.